Hey there folks, Caleb Downing with SDI, and real quick today I'm going to tell you about lapping upper receivers, why you might want to do that, and here's a really good example here of why you need to have this stuff in your shop ready to go when you're building AR-15s. Let's talk about it. Alright, so lapping an upper receiver, what is that? Basically, that is truing this surface right here. So you have your AR-15 upper receiver, you have your threads right here where your barrel nut attaches to, and then this mating surface right here is where barrels will basically mate. They go, well, this is gonna be tight, there we go. They mate in there, they go in there. But this surface right here needs to be level. It needs to be tuned to this little collar right here on your barrels, right? Now, there is such thing called mil spec, and there are specs out there to where everybody tries to make everything within a certain standard, and if everything is in that certain standard, then everything should go together easily, relatively easily. That's why most AR-15s are like cookie cutter kind of Lego guns where you can usually put them all together. But there are times when either one, you're trying to just make everything as perfect as possible, or two, something's out of spec and it got through. This is a case to where something's out of spec and it got through. I picked up this receiver, right, and I was getting ready to do some work on it, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to pick it up because you can't feel what I feel. Let me find it again right here. Right here on this little lip, there's an obvious protrusion. There's a bump. This should be flush and level. There should not be any bumps or protrusions coming out of the top of that upper receiver right there. There shouldn't be anything there. And there's an obvious protrusion. So, thankfully, we have a lapping tool, which is basically a trued piece of steel, right? This will go down inside the upper receiver, just like this. It's very tight because, again, it's truing the surfaces and everything. We'll get it way down in there. And this portion right here, the upper receiver and this portion right here will come in contact, and whenever you turn the drill on and you hold this thing still, it will basically true the surface. Steel is harder than aluminum, so the aluminum's going to give before the steel gives. To make it go a little bit quicker, we're also going to use some polishing, some lapping compound. This is 600 grit. This stuff just helps things go a little bit better, a little bit smoother. So let's get into this. Let's lap this guy because really the problems you could have with this is, one, again, accuracy. If your barrel is not truly mated to the upper receiver and it can have a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of flex, like all the torque of tightening that barrel comes down to one high point, which is what this would have happened. All that pressure would have been going to one high point versus evenly spread out over the entire mating surface of that upper receiver. Your accuracy is going to suffer. Things are going to not work the way they're supposed to work. So let's go ahead and mount this guy up and let's get to lapping. Get this lapping compound on here, just kind of rub it around. We're going to try to make sure we're going in a straight up and down motion. We're not going to put too much pressure per se. Get this guy down in there. Tight. All right, we're not going to put too much pressure per se, but we are going to give steady, firm pressure. All right. Here we go. Also, one little trick to keep from throwing rubbing compound on yourself, I'm going to keep a paper towel here and it'll kind of lick up the splatter as it tries to come off. Alright, we'll take it out and check it. We'll wipe off the surface here. And what we're going to want to look for is to see if we have rubbing all the way around or if we got high spots. Alright, there's still a little bit of a high spot over here. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up or not. But you should be able to tell we have some shiny spots and we got some dull spots. The shiny spots are spots that are being basically lapped. That material is being removed. The dull spots haven't been hit yet. So that just tells me we got to keep going. Put a little bit more compound on there. Here we go. Check it. All right, it's getting a lot better. Still not 100%. All right, still not 100%. We're gonna hit it one more time, and I think that's gonna call it good. Make sure we clean off our tool. All right, spray some what is this? Spray some solvent on here. Make sure we get everything cleaned off. You can really look at it. All right, so I'm happy with that. That is a much truer surface than it was before. A much truer surface than it was before. I mean, before with my eyeball, I could look down and I could see where that little bump was. I can't see where it was now, and I can't feel where it was. It's trued, it's flat, and what that's gonna give me is a flat, even mating surface for my barrel, right? So that when this guy gets locked up in there, that he gets locked up in there and there's not gonna be a lot of wiggle. And specifically, there's not going to be all that pressure from that mounting of the barrel. All that torque and all that pressure is not going to be coming down on one high point. It's going to be evenly spread out over the whole mating surface of that upper receiver. That's really why it's important. It just helps stuff last longer, and also really does help your accuracy and stuff. That's a real technical term for you, but it really does. It helps your accuracy. I mean, imagine if you put all the pressure on one portion. And as that portion wears and wears, because aluminum on steel, aluminum's gonna wear, that barrel, that steel barrel being pressed down on that one high point of aluminum over time, that's gonna wear, and it's gonna make things move, right? Your torque is gonna get adjusted, and it can lead to a lot of different problems. So this is why it's important to check your upper receivers, and also keep these tools on hand. It might cost a little bit to get into the door, right? But this tool's not really gonna wear out in a very long time, as long as you take care of it. This little thing of rubbing compound or lapping compound, that's gonna last me for a very long time, if not for forever. So that's not really an excuse. If you're gonna build quality stuff, do it the right way. All right, that's it. Caleb Downing with SDI. I hope you found it helpful. Catch you in the next video. See ya.